First success then for India. Roger Binny, Tabaret gone for 32.
I found my first 2 minutes I hit the line straight away. And I found things very easy for me that time. I was very confident when I bowled.
And he's bowled him all over the place. Binny takes another wicket. And Fowler clean bowl for 33, leaving England now 84 for 2 in the 21st over.
If you're a batsman, an international batsman against a medium pace bowler on an easy pitch, you should be the dominant power. And yet what happened was those bowlers, those same bowlers, all put it just on the right sort of length, just that sort of little nagging length, no pace coming onto the bat. And in essence what happened was that every time we tried to force the pace, and this is what happened to me personally, every time we tried to force the pace, there was just a little bit of something there, didn't come onto the bat, a little nick in my case, off it goes, Syed Kamani takes the catch, and off I trudge. And that was pretty much the case throughout our top and middle order.
Slowly, the match was starting to turn India's way.
Gatting, and Lam will have to hurry, that's out! Lam has run out. A fine piece of cricket by Yashpal Sharma.
And soon, Mike Gatting would follow Alan Lamb to the pavilion.
In the earlier games, I was bowling more of an outswinger, but I changed my style here. I thought instead of bowling outswinger, I was not very successful in the earlier games. So I thought, let me just bowl in-swingers or maybe incoming delivery more to the batsman because of the nature of the wicket.
Oh, a ball. Out comes the leg stump. And Gatting never looking comfortable. Crowd are going absolutely mad. What a fine spell by Amarnath here.
The ball was keeping low, and if it's coming into the batsman, it's difficult to force.
But England needed to force the pace. With just 160 runs on the board, all hopes were once more pinned to Ian Botham, so often England's saviour.
That's gone. Well, that turn just fractionally kept very low, and Botham has gone. He's bowled for 6 by Azad, and England in real trouble here at 160 for 6. Ball, I think, hit the stump about a foot high, and poor old Ian Botham was left high and dry.
It was left to England's tail to build a total.
And that's 4 runs, a thick edge this time.
But Graham Dilley's useful 20 was only postponing the inevitable.
That's perfectly timed. The last ball of the day. Bob Willis's leg stump goes over. He's out for naught, and England are dismissed at the end of 60 overs for a score of 213.
I think they knew, and I think we knew in our hearts, that 213 batting first on that pitch still wasn't enough, wasn't nearly enough.
We were confident, because at the same time, we always have something behind your mind. You think that, we can't let it go from here, We were confident of getting that score.
And India's openers, Gavaskar and Krishnamacharya Shrikant, started in the right spirit.
Looks all right. Don't think Gavaskar quite timed it, but enough pace in the shot for 4 more runs. Oh my word, he's hit that right over the top of Willis at mid-off. 4 handsome runs. That's the first really belligerent blow we've seen from this flashing spoke maker.
But neither was to last as long as they'd like.
As soon as one says that, Gavaskar pushes out to Allen. That's gone high. Willis is underneath it. He doesn't drop much. Oh, beautifully judged.
When Shrikant fell in the 14th over, it left India on 50 for 2 and trailing England's run rate. India needed to pick up the pace.
I was batting with Yashpal Sharma, and we played a little bit slow, probably. I think that must have concerned the dressing room. I told Yash, okay, Yash, now one of us had to take a charge and to take some rest. So I suggested him, I said, you stay around, and I would go for the bowling. So straight away I just started coming down the wicket, hitting the bowlers over the top, and what I see the next over, Yashpal doing the same thing. because he didn't want to stay behind in that particular moment.
And he's going for a big one, and he's fairly middle that. My word, he's given that everything he knew. It's 6, and Bart Oslier giving the signal. And that's a great shot. A magnificent shot. Swung it over deep square leg for 6. That's a good shot too. Just as well as move that square leg back onto the boundary. They're scurrying away for the second run, and he's gone. He's run out. That was a marvellous throw coming in from Paul Allen there.
Amarnath's run-out stopped him just short of his half-century, but at 142 for 3, his team were back on target. And if the outcome was in any doubt, new batsman Sandip Patil soon dispelled it.
Oh my word, he thumped that one. 4 down to the side screen. India are sailing home at the moment. Got that away on the leg side, 4 runs square. India marched past 200 to the joy of their supporters.
Patil would score 51 runs off just 32 balls. And although Sharma fell on 61 to a magnificent catch by Paul Allett, it was of little significance. India were already within 12 runs of the final. And it was fitting that on this day Patil should be the one to take them there.
He can hit it anywhere, that's it. 4 runs off the edge. India are through to the final. What a great day for Indian cricket.
Full credit to the bowlers on that day, because they did exactly what was needed, kept picking up wickets through our innings. They fielded well too. A couple of run-outs, I think, didn't help our cause. And so everything that happened in that first part of the game set it up for India's batsmen in the second part. But none of us can hide behind the fact that actually we didn't really play as well as we should have done.
We were happy. You're beating England, you're in the final. And nobody given you a chance to come to the final. 66 to 1 odd was against India to win the final. But coming into the final for us was a victory.
London, June the 25th, 1983. The day of the final of the Prudential World Cup. As city life carried on as usual, at Lord's Cricket Ground, one of the sport's most absorbing contests was about to begin.
It was a wonderful day. Blue skies, sun shone all day. Full house at Lord's, and to me Lord's is very, very special. Home of legends steeped in history.
It was standing room only, as the original 8 teams had come down to 2, the West Indies and India. And amongst the dignitaries present at the match that day was a cricket-loving Indian diplomat.
It was incredible. India in the final, if somebody had said that 2 weeks earlier, he or she would have been considered a candidate for the lunatic asylum. But there we were in the final at Lord's.
The scene in the pavilion may have appeared quintessentially English, but London's lively Indian and Caribbean communities lent the day a carnival atmosphere. And the mood was just as relaxed in the Indian camp.
There were no planning, no team discussions, no strategies were discussed. Again, it was a happy-go-lucky side. I think after the semi we just partied all the time. But I think our motto was very simple at that particular time.